Hi, welcome back to Game on the Table. This is Table Battles, which is a game I haven't played on my channel before. Table Battles, second edition by Tom Russell, published by Hollandspiele. And this is a two-player game that I'll be playing solo, so I'll just be playing both sides. I think some people call it playing two-handed. Um, and it's a really light war game. I hesitate to use that term. It's certainly not a full blown con sim conflict simulation historical war game. What it is a light set of dice rolling, dice placement, kind of pattern matching. Almost like worker placement or resource assignment kind of game that has uh, a layer of historical conflict theming laid on top. And what's really cool about that is that it abstracts away a lot of things like unit placement, maps, movements. There's obviously no combat tables. There's no actual combat rolls. The dice that you're rolling um, are actually resources. They're almost like initiative or time or I hesitate to use the word morale because morale is a system in this game, but they're the things you use to activate the different formations. And you've got these cool wooden pieces that kind of act. Let me use my pointer. You got these cool wooden pieces that kind of act like unit strength kind of abstractions, but I have them facing each other because in this particular scenario, each of these formations on each side targets the one across from it. So it kind of looks cool, but really, I'm not moving these around. I'm not sliding them into engagement. There's no measuring. There's no hexes, anything like that, right? I'm playing on my Go board because it happens to be a relatively flat surface that I can play board games on. The key thing that is engaging, though, is that there are these light little pepperings of thematic flavor. And I keep coming back to the idea that this game is really evocative of some of the really key influencing contexts or key kind of decisions or formations or deployments that may have impacted these different historical simulations. And you can see actually um, this deck, every single one of these cards is a different battle that's simulated in this game. So there's quite a few of them that come with the box, and there's some expansions and stuff. You can get more decks and get more scenarios. But each of these formations has their own kind of behavior set. They have their own set of rules to activate. They have their own dice that they can make use of. Um, and it's a really elegant way of making you make a lot of really small decisions in a totally understandable space, right? So you roll your six d6s, right? And what you've got here is a really elegant way of simulating, for instance, in this particular Battle of White Mountain, which is what I have set up here, the defending players, the Bohemian Revolt army, um, is kind of simulated as being less effective and less prepared almost, because as you can see across the tops of the cards, half the numbers on the die aren't usable, right? I can make use of fours, fives, and sixes, right? I can't actually use ones, twos, and threes for this army. So all of these rolls here, all of these dice are effectively useless. And then I get to choose, okay, I've got a four and a five. I can place the four or the five. I can place a set of die, a set of numbers, right? So let's say I had rolled um, two fives. I could place two fives or four, and the way I place these die is by looking at one wing. So in this particular setup, this army, the blue army, has one wing up. The red army actually has two wings. There's the pink wing and the red wing. Each wing, I have to decide where to place die on one card. I can place one die set on one formation for each wing in my army. So I know that sounds a little crazy, but this will make more sense when I start walking through the Imperial League turn, right? So I can slot these. Let's say this is, well, this was my actual roll. Let's say I want to get ready to do some attacks, right? So with my Hohenlohe, I'm not going to say that right, formation, I can slot a 5 there. That's what that symbol means. I can put 5s on this card. In order to activate an attack, I have to wait to my next action phase. Action phases always happen first, and then you do a die rolling phase, which is what I'm in right now. So my next turn, I could, if I wanted to, activate an attack, and that would do one hit for every die that I have on the card, and do one hit to myself for activating this action. So it's actually a really inefficient use of this action to do one hit, right? I'm kind of one for oneing myself. It'd be way better to stack up a number of die on that card, on that formation. Then when I do a single activation, I can do 2, 3, or 4, however many dice I have, as long as they're all 5s. I can do that many hits to my enemy. So that's really, really like the key there, right? I want to use this card efficiently. The other consideration is under each action, you'll see that there's, I guess it's a little clearer for you guys to see this on the red cards. There are listed targets, right? So not every formation can attack any other formation. And the formations that have more than one option have to attack them in order from left to right. So the Catholic League foot soldiers can attack the Hohenlohe formation and the Schlick formation, Hohenlohe and Schlick formation, but I need to fully route the Hohenlohe formation before I can attack the Schlick formation with this formation, right? So there's a little bit of kind of theming there in that these units aren't all, these aren't single people with firearms, choosing their target and aiming. These are simulated formations of troops engaging with each other on fronts that happen in some sort of abstracted space, which means that, for instance, the Catholic League foot soldiers wouldn't be engaging with Thurn in this battle. That's just not how the fronts are simulated, right? Last thing I will point out is there are certain requirements that you have to have in terms of dice to activate for some cards. So Hohenlohe, Thurn, they're really straightforward. Same with the Catholic League, right? There's no requirement listed there. If you have a bunch of dice, if you have at least one die on that formation, you can activate. In this scenario, the only other real requirements that you see are triplets. There's also pairs and full houses and things like that. But for this scenario, I've got triplets on the cavalry units. And triplets means I need to remove 3 of a kind of a number. So I need, for the Catholic League cavalry, I need 3 3s or 3 4s. I'll need 3 1s or 3 2s for the Imperial cavalry, and I'll need 3 5s or 3 6s for the Protestant cavalry. Oh, right. Also, Schlick needs triplets of 4s. So what that means is that, as you can see, like in this turn in particular, I didn't roll a triplet, but I can store dies. I can assign die during my roll phases and try to roll for what I need on future turns. So that's the general gist of what's going on. I've also got secondary actions. You can see the pink actions. For the most part, there's just screens listed. Screens means I can cancel attacks from certain enemy units. And screens are reaction abilities that will spend the die if I have them, right? So these all require pairs as opposed to triplets. So if I had 3 1s on the Imperial Cavalry and Thurn attacked, I would actually have to, because reactions are mandatory, I would have to lose my 3 1s and use them, use 2 of them to qualify as a pair to perform a screen, which would cancel the Thurn attack. So there's a couple of little edge rules in there that I'll bring up as they come along, but I'll start rolling through some turns here. So I've already gone through the action phase on the blue army. they had no dice at the beginning of the game, so or assigned at the beginning of the game, so they couldn't activate anything. Now I'm going to begin the Imperial and then I did the dice rolling and dice assignment phase. Now I'm going to do the action phase for the Catholic and Imperial army. I actually do have one activation available. The 12 Apostles is a special formation noted by the Roman numeral in their strength. What that actually means is they can get up to 3 cubes assigned to them if they're available in the pool. And anytime I roll a straight 4 dice, 4 numbers in a row, I can, instead of placing those dice somewhere else, I can actually assign a cube to the 12 Apostles, which is actually, it's kind of cool. It says it on the card here. It's a simulation of a dozen heavy guns fielded by the Catholic League. So this is kind of like your artillery unit. It doesn't actually have any strength markers because you can't attack it. It can't be routed. But obviously, it's a little difficult. Straights are harder to get. It's a little difficult to get activations on it. But alternatively, its actions are really powerful. So it will automatically cancel with a cube. It'll automatically cancel an attack from any enemy, as opposed to, you can see screens from these other units only screen specific enemy attacks, right? And I can bombard, and the bombard is pretty cool because it helps you achieve one of the major ways you win, which is it removes a morale token from your enemy's pool from the game, right? If I bombarded, which I will do, I'll spend this during the action phase of the red army, and I will bombard. I don't take the morale cube and give it to my opponent, which was what would happen in a rout. I just remove the morale cube from the game, which is great. That brings me to, how do you win this game, right? There's 2 ways. You either take your opponent's morale pool down to nothing, or you route enough enemy formations that none of their remaining formations can attack yours, which sounds a little complicated, but really what it comes down to is some of these or all of these units are limited in which other formations they can attack, right? So a key to achieving that kind of victory condition for the Red Army would be to take out the Hohenlohe formation, because they can attack 3 different units on the other army. Taking them out means effectively I've limited the available attacks that the blue army can do. They basically can no longer attack this unit, even though this unit can still attack the Schlick formation, right? So playing around with both keeping track of which units are alive, but also which units can attack which other units, right? So on the beginning of a turn, before you take your action, if your formations cannot attack any other unit on the other army, in theory, right? Not in terms of having dice on them, but just theoretically, they can't target any existing formations in your army. If on the beginning of your turn, your formations cannot target any other existing formations in the enemy army, you immediately lose. The other way you immediately lose is if you lose all of your morale cubes. You've already seen one way to lose a morale cube. You can get bombarded, and you'll notice that the blue army has no artillery, has no ability to bombard. The other way to lose a morale cube is to rout a unit. So if you do enough hits to an enemy unit that all of their hit markers are removed, that unit routs. It's removed from play, and you take one of your morale cubes and give it to the opponent, which is important, because giving them a morale cube makes it's twice as bad, right? You're not just losing a morale cube, you are making it harder to beat the enemy player. So you want to avoid routes where you can. There's a couple of the little rules like retiring. You can see that this unit is actually in reserve, so its strength units are off the board right now, and they'll come on if this unit comes on to the board. So right now it is not in play. I can't put dice on it. It can't be attacked. It can't attack. There's also retires and pursuits. If those come up, I'll go over them. But let's just get into playing now. So I've activated the 12 Apostles. I've removed one morale cube from the Blue Army's pool, and then let's roll. So this is an interesting roll. I've got a 4, 2 6s, 2 5s, a 2. And one thing that you'll notice is the Red Army can make use of literally any number. So they're a much more flexible army. And they've got a good match, like a good kind of combination of, foot soldiers and cavalry. So they have guys that just do, they've got units that you just throw at the other army, do damage, take damage. You've got cavalry that can do damage. They're harder to maneuver, harder to kind of control and command. So they require triplets, but they can also screen attacks. They can break charges, break advances. I'm kind of taking liberties here. I'm imagining that, but that's kind of how it feels to me. So I can assign 2 sets of dice, one to each wing, the pink wing and the red wing. So let's see, how do I want to play this? I think early on, it's not worth stacking up pairs to get screens because there really isn't a lot of attacking going on. I know that I want to focus down this unit here, the Hohenlohe unit, because that breaks the flexibility of the blue player to target me. So the unit that does initially target that is the Catholic League Foot Soldiers, and they take however many 6s. So I'm going to stack up 6s on the red. And then I've got a couple other options. I've actually got the same ability to set that up for 5s on Liechtenstein here to target Thurn, which is the other kind of big army. So let's see here. Maybe that is what I want to do. Maybe I will just stack up these 5s as well. Okay, so I have to wait till next turn to activate anything, and I might not, because right now, I'm dealing 2 hits, taking 1, doing 2 hits, taking 1, so it's not super efficient yet. Let's roll. I'm not going to activate for the blue army. I think I want to try to roll some more and see if I can stack up more hits. Okay, so I can't use a 2, can't use a 3, can't use a 3. I have a 5. Sorry, that was a 3. I have a 5 and a 6. I do know that the red players is gearing up to do some hits, so maybe I should stack up on the blue army. I should stack up some screens. I don't have what I need to do that readily. So in the absence of that, you know what? I'll just get ready to do my own attacks, right? So you can see this is a really asymmetric battle. There's 6 formations to my 4, or to the blues 4. There's artillery where there is none there. There's a unit in reserve, which can switch out for another unit if it gets routed or retires voluntarily. But also, I can use all my numbers. I can assign 2 pairs of dice, right? This is a scenario where the red army, I think, is supposed to win. So I won't be too sad if it goes a little lopsided. All right, let's see here. I think in the absence of the immediate ability for them to set up a screen, I'm not going to activate, and I'm going to see if I can push for more dice. Ooh, 2 2s. Well, I can't effectively screen this unit because I would need 2 3s or 2 4s. I can set up a screen, if this happened, right? And maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will just set up that screen, and then, if I don't have a better option, I'm just going to activate an attack next turn. Okay. Seeing that screen set up, the blue player, I think, it might be worth doing some damage here. So I will activate, which pulls the 2 dice off of that card. I do 1 hit per die, so I pull 2 dice off, so I'll do 2 hits. And I will take 1 hit because I did 1 activation. That's really it. That's how combat resolves. It's real simple. But now I have all 6 dice back, so I can roll. So that's kind of an important consideration. On the turns when you do activate, you do get to roll more dice. So fortunately, not great rolls. I can't use either of those, but I got a 4 and a 5. Familiar roll. I almost feel like continuing to stack up. I'm just gonna race down dealing damage. I don't know if that's a great option, but that's what I'm gonna try. And then likewise here, I think because I've got this combo set up where I've got this screen and I've got the attack lined up, I'm actually going to activate here to try to balance things out. So I'll do 2 hits here, do Hohenlohe, and 1 to self. So now we're back on even footing. All right, let's roll. So I've got a 2 and a 3. Might actually be nice. I can turn this set of 2s into a triplet and actually do a hit on this cavalry. Not going to socket this 3 here because then I'll just be out of dice and I won't be able to do anything. So you can get your dice back if you've socketed all of them and you can't produce any actions. What you do is you pull all the dice off that card, but the action doesn't activate, so you basically waste a turn. So I might as well just hold on to it. Cool. I'm not going to activate on the blue. I'm just going to roll. All right. So let's get this 2 out of here. And sorry, that's a 6. Get the 2 out of here. I've got 2 4s, 5, and a 6. 2 4s actually might be nice. 2 4s would let me screen an additional attack over here. So I might, yeah, do that. Let's screen that. I'm ready to screen a Catholic League foot advance, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to attack here. To activate a triplet only does 1 hit. So I'm actually going to only get 1 hit out of that. Go. And sorry, I'm just checking rules, making sure I'm doing this right. Yes. So I've got 4 dice back. Let's roll. And got a pair of 3s, 4, and a 6. Pair of 3s would allow me to set up a screen, which could be handy. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a great split here. I can't place 2 sets of dice in this turn, so I can do 3s and 4s, or I can do 6. I can't use Tiefenbach. I can't assign dice here yet because this unit is in reserve. So it's almost like it's not on the board. I just, I'm kind of sneaking it on the camera so that you know it's still there, but I can't activate it. Yeah, you know what? Likewise, I'll set up another screen here that could turn into a hit if I roll well. So nothing to activate. 2, 3, and a 6. I think I'm going to go for setting this up so I can clear the screen. Okay, no activations to do over here. Let's roll. Hey, I can actually set up both of these. So I'm going to slot 5 and a 3. And again, I can assign 2 sets of dice because I'm assigning them to 2 different wings of my army. All right. So that's bad. I've got 2 hits incoming. But importantly, I well, no, actually, I can screen. Ah, I tricked myself. Right. I can't screen this cavalry. I can only screen the foot soldiers with this cavalry. I can't screen. Um, well, I can't screen over here. So things are stacking up a little nasty over here. Let's see. What should I do? So in order to avoid this attack, I will activate this 5, which forces the screen. So I have to activate the screen. And the screen activation removes all dice, even though I only need a pair to activate. Also means this unit this army has to skip an action phase next turn. So, and because of the screen, no one takes any losses in this exchange. So, not going to lose one for the action. Not going to take losses over here. So let's roll. Oh, sorry, that one didn't go through the tower. All right. So I know I've got a big hit coming my way. I am going to. Should I hedge my bets and try to set up a screen to cancel this three deep attack, or should I just start stacking up for a counter? That is the question. I think. Well, they're going to skip the next action phase. I'm going to get one more chance to roll before they can attack. Let's give it a shot. Again, skipping the action phase because they had to do a screen. Just going to roll. And now I've got 6s and 4s. 6s and 4s are great. Let's set up another screen over here. And I do want to focus this unit down, so I'll socket that 6 in. All right. So could really use 6s here. Not going to activate on the blue side. Well, that's pretty great. Yeah, all right. Well, don't necessarily need the triplet, but I'll just put all the dice there. So the red player is going to activate. They now know that there's the ability to screen, right? They can see that this attack will just fail, even though they invested a lot of time and a lot of turns into getting that attack set up. So instead of wasting that, I think what they'd like to do is let's use this one die. We'll do the same activation trick that forces blue player to screen, but also lose their next action. So no losses. Let's do that. And then I get one die to roll. It's a 1. No point in socketing that in. Okay, on the blue side, I've got 2 dice. So I'm not going to activate. I'm actually going to slot in and prepare for another attack. And that's it. That's my turn. On the red side, I can attack. Well, I can't attack here, but I can attack here, which will clear the screen. And I've only got 1 die left, so I might as well. I just need to get these dice back so I can do something else, right? So that'll clear both players' dice. No losses on either side. Let's go. Well, that's lucky. 3 5s again. So I'm definitely going to place that. I could place this 3 over here, but I won't be able to use it with anything. It'll just be lost. So I'm just going to wait. On the blue player side, I think I will activate. I'll do a 2 for 1. 1, 2. Sorry. 1 from the blue player's strength, 2 from the pink player's strength. There we go. And no screening this time. And now I've got 6 dice to roll. Hopefully I can get something decent. Not a great roll. So this 1, 2s, and 3s aren't useful. I've got 4 and a 5. Feels like a classic roll for them. Let's do Let's set up more screens. I'll set up that 4. Okay. Green player. So finally, there's no screens. I'm going to do the 3 for 1. 1, 2, 3. And lose 1 for yourself. I've got 4 dice to roll. Okay. Some 1s, 2s. Actually, it might be nice to just set up another screen while I figure out what I want to do for attacks. You know, I can slot this 6 in, get ready. Okay. Wow. Okay, all I've got is that 5. So, not really worthwhile. I guess I'll set up another screen, or I'll prepare for another screen. On this side, I can't activate anything, so I'll just roll my 1 die. Got another 1. Well, I could turn this into an attack. All right. 2 5s, huh? Nope. 2 5s, a 3, and a 6. I think I'm ready to set up. Well, no, they've got a screen ready to roll. Yeah, let's tackle the cavalry. Set up for an attack next round. I've got an attack, so I'm going to do it. I keep saying I, like I'm not playing both sides. Red player's got an attack lined up. Just do 1 hit for those 3 dice. Now I can roll 3. 3, 4, and a 5 means what? Do here. Well, start stacking up for the next round of attacks. That might be good. Let's definitely activate here. Do a hit. Interesting. There's a couple other rules that I'm thinking about now that I haven't mentioned before. So, a couple important rules. 1, this star means that when this unit routes, I give 2 morale cubes to the enemy, not 1. So that's especially bad. The other important rule is these 2 cards both say pursuit. A card that has pursuit on it, if it routes the unit it's attacking, attacks the unit and routes it, it will also leave the board, but it doesn't count as routing. So the unit disappears, making it so that I didn't lose the unit, didn't lose morale for it, but it can no longer be targeted, which can help you contribute to the other win condition. So you'll see that these 2 cavalry units basically have corresponding targets. They target each other, and they both say pursuit. So whichever one routes the other will also, regardless of which one routes the other, they'll both leave the board. But the one that got routed will lose a morale cube. So still worth winning that battle, but both armies are going to come off the table. So really, in that case, if I've already lost this battle from the blue side, kind of no point trying to invest dice in chipping this unit down. Yeah. Okay. Now where was I? Did I assign dice out? Did I roll these? I must have rolled them because they're in the tray. I need to assign something out. Yeah, I'll start stacking up. Well, I can set up another screen, so I might as well do that. Okay. This really is tough because it's built to be asymmetric, right? So I'm just gonna set up for another attack. Okay, on the blue army, I've got nothing to activate. So I've got 6, 3, 2 4s. Well, I could set up another set of 4s to start attacking that cavalry. Or Got more Thurn attacks. I'm only going to get so many of those. Yeah, let's do that. No, it seems like a bad use of my dice, but I think I'm going to roll better in the future. Oh, wait. Rewind. Let me show you what's on the board. So Lichtenstein can now attack, do 2 hits, which will rout this unit, lose 1, which will keep them on the board. So placing die there is not a good use of my time. So yeah, I should place the 4s. I'll place the 4s over here. And like I said, this unit will now activate. Definitely is going to do that because that's what they're here for. So I'm going to take a morale cube, place it like that. And actually this leaves play, doesn't necessarily have to leave the board, but I will take it off the board just for simplicity's sake. So now this unit can target Onlo, which is kind of bad. All right. So time to roll for the red army. Red player. 2 3s and a 6. Don't really need 2 3s over there. That would just let me screen, which I already have 4s. So I've already got 2 4s here. Right, I can put 3s here. I've already got 2 4s here, which will let me screen. 2 3s will only let me screen, not let me attack. Let's just stack up that 6. Because I have a feeling the blue player is going to attack. Because they might as well, right? They need to do something. So they'll attack. We'll do 1 hit. Again, you lose all the dice on the card when you activate, regardless of how many you actually use. So let's roll my 4 die. All right, I've got 1 4 2 5s. Let's see here. I think what I will do is, shoot, this is so tricky. Let's stack up 5s. Let's see if I can pull off just some sort of damage, right? Okay, and then over here, I'm just going to attack. And this doesn't seem like a good use of my resources, right? I'm losing 1 to do 2, which is not that much. But now I've effectively set up a situation where if this unit attacks, it will automatically rout. So it looks like writing's on the wall for the blue player. All right, let's roll. 2 1s, 2 and a 6. Well, let's just stack up a 6. Because even if he doesn't attack, now I can clear the blue player out next turn. All right, blue player. You know what? Need to make this count. Let's do it. Let's attack. 2 hits. 1 to self. So both armies rout. But you know what? Let me check the rules. I don't know what happens in this case. So routing. Right. For friendly and enemy formation route simultaneously, no morale cubes are given to either player, even if one of those formations was marked with a star, which is actually probably the best situation blue player could hope for, because if red player had forced a route, then I would have had to give up 2 morale cubes and lost immediately. So honestly, that was probably a mistake on the red player's turn to attack, even though he didn't really do enough damage. Should have just stayed at 4 instead of dropping down. Sorry, should have just stayed at 3 instead of dropping down to 2. Because now the blue player has the option of potentially winning if they can win this cavalry battle, then no one on this wing can target the slick formation. So this formation needs to survive in time for this formation to beat this one, or this combination of formations to beat this one. It's a little convoluted way of saying that there is still a way for the blue player to win. All right, so I get to roll 6 dice for the blue player. 2 6s, 2 2s, a 1 and a 3. So only the 6s are relevant, unfortunately. I really don't need them. I think blue player is going to call this a loss and just focus on having enough dice to roll 4s. Seems like a gamble, but I think that's what I gotta do. No activations possible for the red player, so let's see what we can do. I can get a triplet here, which is great. Unfortunately, I can't place this other one because it only gives me, 1 activation. So, yeah, regardless of the number of triplets I have, I only will do 1 hit. So, not worth it. Let's see here. Right. Let me just double check here. Triplet. Yeah, 1 triplet. Okay, so blue player has got to roll well here. No activations possible, but we need 3 4s. Not going to get them. But I will get 3 6s, so I guess I will slot that up. That's all I can do, so I might as well activate because I can activate and then get those dice back next round. This turn, I'm going to activate here. Bring down this cavalry. And then roll 6 green dice. Okay, I feel like not all of them went through the tower, but they all rolled, so I'll take it. Likewise, I think what I need to do is need to wind down this cavalry if I can. 6s, I got 5s, I got 4s. This unit can't attack can't attack anything, so there's no point in slotting dice on you right now. I guess it's 4s. 4s is probably the best use of my time here. And then I will slot in a 2, so I'll hedge my bets. Whatever I roll next will activate. So you're going to activate. Do 1 damage. Oh, not to yourself, to the opposing force. Okay, let's roll. Wow. 1s, 2s, and 3s, not useful. So I got a 6. Can't roll 4s, I guess. Okay. 2s, hey. 2s and 4s. So I'm ready to dish out some damage next round. Okay, blue player, you gotta figure something out. Do I start stacking up 4s? Do I start stacking up 6s? I think the answer is yes. I do both. Okay. Activate. I think I'm gonna activate here because this is the lower unit. I'm gonna roll 3. 6s, 4s. I don't need a 4/4 over there. That's not really relevant. Don't need a 5. None of these are really relevant, so I'm just gonna hold on to these dice. Blue player, let's roll. Hey, it's irrelevant. I'm gonna activate next turn, so I'm gonna get it back. But I guess good play would be just to put that 1/6 there. Okay, gonna activate here. one more hit out of you. Now I get to roll 6 green dice and see what I want to do. 2s are good, 1s are good, 3s are good. So I think I'm just going to take the 2s and the 3, and hopefully I can speed towards doing damage before the blue player can. I'm going to do one more activation, one more hit. So it's coming down to the wire a bit here. Let's roll these 5 green dice. Not getting the 4s that I need, but I got a 6. Okay, no activations for red player. Shoot, should have taken 1s. I'm gonna hedge my bets here and 1 dice. So now I can activate if I get a 1 or a 2. No activations on the blue player. Well, I'll take the 4. Game kind of plays itself right now, which sometimes is seen as a bad thing, but I think it's more like the decision space has narrowed, right? So I know what I'm trying to do. I've set up a good situation here. I'm not going to use all these dice efficiently, but I just need the 1 hit. So I've got that next round lined up. Nothing they can do about it. Now they've got to just line up 4s, right? And fortunately for the red player, they did. So this hit's coming. 5, nothing. So all of these dice are going to get used for 1 activation to route this player. So that's going to move 1, or this formation, that's going to move 1 morale cube over and pull this unit off the board. But this unit also has pursuit, which means it's also going to leave, but it's not going to affect the morale of its side. All right, so now I've got these armies in reserve. This one's probably just not going to play a role this round or this scenario. But this unit can't attack anything. This unit can. So this is the only way the blue player can win is winning this battle. So basically, it just comes down to Catholic and the Catholic League Cavalry. All right. So blue player is. Oh, sorry. I activated a bunch of dice. Now I get to roll. I want to skip the roll phase for you. No point putting dice over here. All I need are 3s and 4s. I will take the 4. You're going to activate. Level the playing field a little bit, although they are ahead on dice being assigned. And now you're going to roll, and you're just going to hope for 4s. Oh, 1 4. I guess that's what you got to take. Red player's going to activate. They're looking for 3s or 4s, and they got 3s. Blue player's going to activate. 1 4. This must be kind of riveting. All right, come on. Oh, okay. Either one sets up an attack next turn. Come on, just need a 4. Wow, that is lucky. So this blue player is still in it. Blue player is still in it. All right, here we go. Blue player, roll. Okay, they've got their 3 lined up to do some damage. Blue player is going to activate. Do a hit. And now roll all 6. You really need 3 4s. Wow, that's 3 4s. Okay. Player will activate, which loses all their dice. Just 1 hit. So it's kind of meaningless, right? That no matter what they roll, that last hit's coming in. And it's really unfortunate because they finally got 3 3s in a row. But now on this player's turn, they'll activate an attack, which will route. Take this unit off the board. And at the beginning of this player's turn, nothing they have can target anything that's left on the board, which basically means the blue player actually wins. I was saying the whole time that this is super asymmetric and weighted towards the red player, but I think the red player just lost. Let me just double check and make sure that this unit doesn't count for that rule here. Yeah, because the rule is you can't attack anything, which means the special formation unit can't do any attacks. It just does a bombardment action. So yeah, the red player just lost, which I really wasn't expecting. And so that was probably a really bad move when I took the Catholic foot soldiers and I did an inefficient attack, put me within striking distance of the Hohenlohe, who were able to rout themselves basically and short circuit, losing all their morale cubes, which put the other win condition in play. So that was pretty interesting. Yeah, this is Table Battles. That was the first scenario. The Battle of White Mountain. What was it? November 8th, 1620. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I like how thematic it felt. And then, because I think a lot of times we might look at war games as being thematic because of a huge amount of chits and platoon level or squad level or whatever. You feel like you're a commander, you feel like you're a captain, you feel like you're you feel like you're actually orchestrating a war, whereas this kind of tackled thematic flavor and feeling by kind of streamlining your decision process, making it so that you're just making decisions about who do I need to invest in activation, right? Who do I need to prepare for an attack? Who do I need to prepare for a screen, right? If I've lost the ability to win via this win condition, how do I set up for the other one? So there's a lot of ways to be clever, but the game is pretty short. I think if I was better at this game, if I was more experienced, I'd be playing through these scenarios way faster. But yeah, this is Table Battles. Really cool little game. I'm hoping to kind of play through all the scenarios on camera and put it up as a series. So if you like what you saw, you can hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, and you'll get notified of the future videos I put up, including this series. And if you want to comment or you saw a rules mistake or whatever, comment down below and I'll check it out. In any case, hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.